The opening of another IRC season, and for the first time ever, Rally Monte Carlo as the season opener. The most famous of all rallies is the start of a 12-round roller coaster of tarmac and gravel events. First leg for the Monte starting on the waterfront in Monaco itself and heading out through the Alpes Maritimes to the end of the day, the service park at Valence, looping around high up into the mountain stages on day 2 and through the night before finishing back down in Monte Carlo itself. Ask anybody to name 3 motorsport events, they'll say Le Mans 24 Hours, Monaco Grand Prix, Monte Carlo Rally, and the Monte Carlo still the most famous and the most desirable rally winners trophy of them all. And for the first time ever, the Intercontinental Rally Challenge is part of the fabled Monte Carlo. Leading the cars out was the reigning IRC champion, Nicolas Voyoz, in his Peugeot. Right behind him, the runner-up last season, Giandomenico Basso, in the Abarth Grande Punto. Well, the Monte is renowned for its capricious weather conditions. Snow and ice are regular features, even in the driest of years. And this has been one of the snowiest winters in recent memory all across the Alps. That makes the conditions extremely tricky, and also tyre choice absolutely vital. Well, here's one of the newcomers to the event, Mikko Hirvonen, in the brand new Skoda Fabia Super 2000. Nicolas Voyoz representing Peugeot, the defending champion, and showing you what the conditions are like. Well, engineers, Aitno crews and weather forecasters working with the tyre engineers from BF Goodrich to try and provide not only the right tyres but the right choice from their selection for each of the stages. And the opening test, well, Nicolas Voyoz opening with studded snow tyres, and that allowed him to post the fastest time on the test, 2.3 seconds quicker than Hirvonen's Skoda and 16.3 quicker than the man we saw before that, Tony Gardemeister in the Abarth. Both had non-studded tyres. Well, mechanical problems on the stage for Skoda stalwart Jan Capecci. Giandomenico Basso's on board. He's struggling a little with his tyre choice. Here on the dry tarmac, not so bad, but when he got into the snow, he was lacking the grip that the studs can provide, digging down into the icy surface. And back is a former 3-time winner of the event, double world champion Didier Auriol. But his event was not to last long. The 50-year-old with regular co-driver Denis Giraudet clouting a wall on the inside on stage 1. And that wheel there belongs to his Grifoni Peugeot. That was listed incidentally as a mechanical retirement. Well, yes, technically speaking, I suppose it was. Anton Alain also struggling, nearly 18 seconds off the pace in the Abarth. And here's Sébastien Loeb, 5th on the stage in the BF Goodrich car, run by the manufacturer of the tyres at 5 events this season. Ogier, the Junior World Rally Champion. Well, stage 2, that was a very different kettle of fish, lower lying the Saint-Nazaire road, and that meant that dry weather tyres were the best option. Jan Capecci lost his power steering in the first stage and would build up his forearms throughout the day. However, he did manage to make his mark among the fastest runners on the second test. Capecci came in third fastest despite the lack of power steering. Clearly his tyre choice had been a good one. However, he had the hazard warning lights on for the rest of the day, just in case anyone caught him. Giandomenico Basso also trying to make up for lost time, with Mitja Dotter alongside him on the notes. Basso was the leading Abarth runner in last year's championship, and Peugeot and Abarth really the big two titans clashing. However, already it seems they have a new challenger. The brand new Skoda Fabia, which started testing last year, certainly looks to be very quick indeed. Well, Basso again eschewing spikes on the tyres and finding that things were a little tricky on the downhill runs particularly. And that left the way clear for a new boy to put his name on top of the timesheets. Stéphane Sarrazin, famous as a single-seater driver and now Le Mans ace for the Peugeot team, made the right choice of tyres on stage 2 and claimed his first ever stage win on the Monte. Not a total Monte newcomer. He has at least had a tiny bit of experience in the Super 2000 cars used in the Intercontinental Rally Championship. Well, the number 1 car also going strongly. Nicolas Voyors had spiked tyres only on the front and made a little better stab of the stage. But another good run through was from Juho Hanninen. He came in 4th fastest, and as he'd been in 4th quickest in the first stage as well, that meant that he took the overall rally lead. So Skoda back in the rallying fold after retiring from the World Rally Championship a couple of seasons ago to develop the Super 2000 car. Jan Capecci was fastest of the two Skodas in 3rd behind Sarrazin and Basso, but overall the aggregate time saw Hanninen take the event lead. And then they were due to head into the clouds and higher up the mountains again on their way to the overnight service halt. Last year's runner-up on the event was Freddie Loix, and he managed to make his mark, setting a top 3 stage time on the 3rd test. Fast Freddie was indeed very quick, just a 1/10 of a second quicker than the event leader, Juho Hanninen, on a stage that turned out to be very snowy indeed. It had started off dry, then the drivers ran into a little bit of rain, and as they gained altitude, that turned into snow, and some of it very thick indeed. Well, Sarrazin, following Loix on the stage, also had a good run through. He came in 2nd fastest, beating Freddie's time by quite a margin. He was 4.2 seconds quicker than Loix at the end of the test. Well, there's a variety of different tyre choices. You can see at the end of the test, it was still pretty snowy. Further down the mountain, it had been extremely snowy. But that didn't stop Series and Monte Carlo Rally debutant Chris Meek from enjoying his first ever snow stage and winning it quite comprehensively. The Ulsterman, the fastest of all. So Chris Meek taking that final stage victory from Sarrazin and Freddie Loix, with Juho Hanninen 5 seconds behind after a good strong run. So the man who lies in 3rd after the opening day of the Monte Carlo Rally is the defending champion Nicolas Voyors, and the Peugeot Super 2000 207 still looking a very fully rounded weapon indeed in all the conditions. The team seem to have opted for the best tyre choice of those available to them today, which range from cut slicks, uncut slicks, so a full dry weather racing slick, which seems unlikely to be used except perhaps around the Principality itself at the end of the event, and then into snow tyres and studded snow tyres. Well, Stéphane Sarrazin also going extremely well, winning on stage 2, and as you can see through the heavy snow at the end of the stage, also at that stage setting the fastest time on stage 3, and he lies in 2nd place overnight. A fine performance for an ex-single-seater race turned sports car racer and rally driver. He really is quite the versatile star. But the man who leads is perhaps the man least expected to do so, Juho Hänninen, the young Finn in his Skoda, with an advantage at the end of the first day of the Monte Carlo Rally. 11.9 seconds ahead of Stéphane Sarrazin, 22 ahead of Voyoz in third place. In fact, 33 ahead of Voyoz in third place, with Sébastien Loeb 49 seconds behind. Chris Meek lies in sixth place, just 61 seconds off the lead.
How about that snow on special stage 3? Were you okay with that?
I was okay, but a little bit not perfect tire because of that, because I didn't know that there will be snowing, so we were without starts over there, and I am quite confident we would be had been a little bit faster with the starts. But anyway, very good day.
La première spéciale en slick était vraiment très dure parce que ça glissait beaucoup.
Stéphane Sarrazin saying in the first stage with slicks was really hard because it was very slippery. We almost went off the road at least 20 times. Then in the second special we pushed hard in the dry, set the fastest time, and in the third we managed to control it pretty well without too many risks. We're second overall and happy with that. And Nicolas Voyoz in third place behind Hänninen and Sarrazin. No major problems today apart from the puncture we had at the end of stage 3. We had to do 7Ks with a flat tyre, but it was in the snow, so we didn't lose too much time. But apart from that, everything okay with the 207. For the next couple of days, they will have to stay right in the middle of the road and avoid those punctures. So Voyoz indeed finishing on a flat tyre. He wasn't the only one either. Giandomenico Basso had a flat front tyre as well. But Juho Hänninen with a 12-second lead over Sarrazin. Voyoz 33.8 behind. Sébastien Loeb doing very well in his one-off drive in fourth, the Junior World Rally Champion. And tomorrow's coverage continues with live action, 10:30 and 15:45 local time. That's 9:30 a.m. and 2:45 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, live from stage 5, stage 8 of the Monte Carlo Rally. See you then. Bye for now.